Morning everybody, I thought I would do a March roundup of what the market's been looking like, where we are, where we're heading and how that compares to 2024. Come out of a balanced market, so at the top end of a balanced market, around the top end 6 figures. That means months of supply is what I'm talking about there. We have, as of end of last week, gone into what we call a buyer's market, which means that there's more properties for sale in our area, which is the HU15 postcode, as you know, HU15-2 specifically. Yeah, there's more properties available than there are buyers currently looking in our area. So that's when you're driving around and you're seeing lots of for sale boards up, and you're maybe thinking, oh, that's been on the market for a while. That's why. So we've got a lot of properties for sale, and buyers are a little bit less in supply than what they were in the previous year. So to give you some actual figures in terms of averages for March, available stock weekly, we're coming out at about 105 properties available in our market at any one time. There's around, on average, 8 new instructions a week. So that's around 8 new properties coming to the market every week. In terms of sales agreed, it's come out at 4.6, so just under 5 sales agreed a week for the month of March 2025. Price reductions are kind of a bit all over the place, but as an average, they've come out around 2 price reductions a week. So that indicates that because of the supply of properties available, some sellers are choosing with their agents to reduce the price to try and get more footfall through the door. Obviously, I've done lots of different videos and talked to a lot of people about different strategies when you're listing your property to avoid getting put into a reduced bracket. Being put in a reduced bracket is ultimately bad, not just bad for you as a homeowner, but it's bad for your positioning in terms of the portals. So you want to avoid that as much as possible. Time on the market, so the amount of days on average on the market for people in our area is coming out at an average of 95 days. So that's dropped quite a lot since the start of the year. So we're averaging between 100 and 111 days. So that's dropped down to below 100, around 95 days at the moment. So that's, if you're thinking about going on the market, that should be a indicator for you as an expectation for how long you can expect to have your property for sale based on current averages in the area and the agents that are currently holding the majority of the market share in our area. If we compare that to last year, our market is relatively stable. It's very similar year on year, to be honest. So I have pulled off the information from 2024 to give you an indication. Available stock was around 99 compared to 105 properties available. New instructions were only at around 3.5. New instructions this year are around 8. So as you can see, there's a lot more people coming to the market of late than there were for the same month last year, which obviously is March. Sales agreed were at 6 for the month of March 2024 compared to just under 5 for this year, so that's pretty similar. Price reductions were actually higher last year than they were this year. So for March last year, it's come out at an average of 4, and this year in March, it's come out at just over 2. Time on the market was, similar last year. Compared to this year. Last year it was 102 days, and as we said, for this year, for the month of March, it's coming out at 95. So it's quite similar in a lot of ways, which is good. It gives a good indicator for our area. What I would say, and what we are saying to a lot of people who we're having meetings with, is, as ever, it's so important that you price the house correctly in terms of the agreed price that you and your agent agree on to put it on the property portals. That will ultimately drive the footfall through your door and the amount of potential viewers that you have, which ultimately puts you in the driving seat. Regardless of what's happening in any market any one time, that is always the best strategy if you want to sell your house quickly and for the best price possible. I will keep doing these videos. I'll pop another one on next month. If anybody as ever wants to know what's happening at any one time, you can message me. I run this information weekly off all the property portals, and I can send you a little snippet. But that's what's happening in our market in our area. Have a lovely day.